Evil Geniuses was asking Mad Lions, hey, what's the delay? Because Mad was clearly on stage talking a lot. And Elyoya said, not much, just flaming my top laner. Worst rumble I've ever seen. Then you had Armut firing back saying, my jungler's a rat. And then, again, Elyoya came back and said, I wish I had Odo as my top. And Evil Geniuses was just flaming them the entire time, mixing in their own banter.
I tell you what, though, this jungler from the side of Mad Lions does not play Maokai. Not a single person of Mad Lions have played Maokai yet, and even with blue side available to them, it will be the first champion that they're actually banning themselves. So, Mark was joking. He said, yeah, but surely you can play Maokai. But, I mean, so far Mad Lions not willing to, at least.
I'm really curious to see if they go for the Gnar ban here. When you heard the analyst desk talking about it, I was not surprised to see that ban first pick Aatrox. With the Aatrox ban, will you double ban Armut? Because Impact does not play a lot of the meta hard counters into Gnar, and so we'll have to see what he wants to go for here. He's much more the type to play an even scaling matchup into it, or just something that's can play weak side and kind of go even.
Yeah, and seeing that Hecarim was left open, Mad Lions, they would have first picked that immediately had they been given the chance. It does leave Silas open for them, and laning first was fairly close in the first game. Nisqy almost had a solo kill on Jojo, and it forced Inspire to delay his jungle clear to hover around the mid lane instead.
One of the other minor things in that pre-chat banter was Jojo Hyun insulting Nisqy's Silas.
Of course.
So maybe mind controlled him into picking it again.
We'll have to see, but with Maokai ban, looks like Sejuani is the pick here for Inspired. Also of note, Cloister is open. She's been pretty heavily banned throughout the tournament so far. We know it's something Kaori certainly can play, likes to play from time to time, but we'll see how things shake out. Looks like things are very similar to our game one so far.
Yeah, the problem with Kalista is that despite how underwhelming the Draven was in the first game, you don't really want to blind pick it into it. But I think EG are super happy with just playing the Victor into the Silos matchup once again. While laning phase was a bit shaky from where it started, Jojo in the late game was completely untouched and dealt out so much damage. That seems random. That's a...
Pastry and I both just arched our eyebrows at each other like, what are we missing here? Because I agree you want the Victor probably again in that matchup. You can take it as the final pick, and I thought that they would then use this one to take something away from Mad Lions. I was like, maybe you just blind the Gnar yourself. Maybe you go for a strong support that you think they might want or something. Set does not feel like a takeaway. It feels like most likely a flex pick that can go between Vulcan and Impact and trying to not show their hand too much. But that does leave up a very happy Elyoya to take Trundle away, which was banned, I believe, in the previous game. And here, now having two tanks already locked in for EG.
It was banned in the second ban rotation, so this time around they want to go with it immediately. You already know you're playing into the Sejuani, so you're getting value off your ultimate. This is where I was curious. Were they going to go with the Draven once again, or would they want to default to Misfortune? What Draven allows you to do is that you can late invade, and you'll pretty much win it no matter what. You have Trundle, who's one of the best brawlers in the early game, and you actually have the Draven too. Now with the Yuumi being locked in, this pretty much just confirms that the set is going into a solo lane, and I don't want to outrule the possibility that set can be played by Jojo in the mid lane against the Silas.
Jojo Pyun has been limit testing all worlds long in Champions Queue and whatnot. Would not be surprised if he has some other pocket picks available. Though I'm very happy to see the higher priority for Mad Lions for Elyoya's pick, not getting it banned out in the second phase of bans. He is so important for this team, and he did play a good Vi game. It was just not a good Vi angle, honestly, for the draft that EG was able to take into it here. A more generally strong pick, as well as having the strong matchup into Sejuani, gives Elyoya the opportunity to take this game over, hopefully.
Yeah, and now coming in with the bans, they want to ban away the Draven, not the Ezreal, super potent into the Draven in its own right, but also having a Yuumi on top of that is super easy. Normally, Sivir would be a problem. This time around, you're not going to ban Sivir, just due to the fact that Alistar will probably come out as a counter pick into the Sivir. You can't play that lane as Sivir when you're playing up against the Draven at the same time, so it's probably just going to be another ban coming through.
Yeah, Sivir already counter-picked by the Draven in a sense, so don't want to spend another ban on it. You want to get rid of the uninteractive 2v2s. Maybe that means they get rid of the Varus again, but I don't think Varus Yuumi is quite the same level of potency. Nila gotten rid of.
So Nina does function really well together with the Yuumi, but still interesting of a champion. She does neutralize it. And seeing Sivir be locked in, you just slam this Alistar right now. You can't spell shield the combo. You're playing into the Draven. This is bold from the EG bot lane.
Kind of laying it down, saying, Unforgiven and Kaiser, you were not impressive in your Draven game before. We are not scared of it. It's basically a call out saying, we don't think you have what it takes to actually snowball through bot lane.
But you're playing into Trundle as well with the pillar. I'm not sold on it. I'll be happy to be proven wrong. but I'm scared a little bit for the EG bot lane, seeing 3 picks like that into
No,
it.
I'm with you. This is a sweaty. I am worried. Very nervy looking at this draft right now as an EG fan for Mad Lions. Looking good so far. The only question now is, what are they going to round it out on the top side?
Yes,
it is all reliable. Ornn coming in blind for Armut.
And I think it just makes sense, right? Now it's banned away. You don't want to see the Rumble again. We saw the Ornn in yesterday's series. Long range engage. You can play the weak side. You're not going to be attacked. You can just kind of chill up towards that top side. Play fully towards this bot side. If Elyoya doesn't have to get a single pressure gang on the top side, Elyoya's happy to just be on the bot side.
It is JoJo's set.
It is JoJo set into the Silas. Not too much of a surprise given when we saw the rando set. What felt like the draft pick we had seen was the Silas. Makes sense that it is the counter pick there. We'll have to see how this one goes. We talked a bit yesterday about how Silas is not actually that strong of a laner, especially into melee matchups. You often take him into matchups where you can scale against range champions who can't pressure you hard enough to actually bully you in the short mid lane. If you go melee versus melee, sometimes he can actually get scrapped out pretty hard.
But this is not enough AP damage. Yumi's going to be Ludens for sure, and she's going to max Q. But you have Set, Sivir, and Gangplank. Sejuani does give some magic damage, but it's certainly not what you're looking to be the highlight.
Who needs magic damage when you have true damage? JoJo's going to land every haymaker, trial by fire. There you go. Absolutely enough true damage to burn through. 3 tanks!
Setting it up, I believe.
No, this is very much a scary draft for EG, both in terms of how the comps interact, like you're talking about, the immense amount of dive with only one very big backline threat in the Sivir. If you can get on top of her and blow her up, there's not that much damage, as well as the fact that, like you said, it's very physical damage heavy. All 3 lanes physical damage oriented. Does mean it feels like EG are kind of in a want to snowball, but none of your picks really want to do that except mid lane probably. So expect a lot of ganks early from Inspired. You do have double melee solo laners, so you can get that kind of combo going, but GP is really not what you associate with Sejuani early chain ganks with melee.
Yeah, it's almost like kind of the older, earlier patch, different roster EG, right? Weak side bottom lane that scales well, and then a pretty proactive top side. How that plays out in this game on this stage, we'll have to find out, because they're right into it. Round 2 between Mad Lions and EG. EG looking to see if they can start a sweep. They've already done the impossible, winning a game versus EU this year. See how many more they can get as Mad want to even things up.
Starting aggressive on the bot side, seeing if Kaiser's going to be around here. And still move up towards the tri-bush, but Unforgiven will most likely just spot it. Yep, there you have it.
Oh. Set E, maybe going to get in range.
Raven W, heal comes through.
Nice usage of summoners there by Vulcan. Gets the flash out of Unforgiven. Again, the Draven losing his flash at level 1. This time not in the lane phase, but it means, again, it's going to be hard for the Draven to fully exert the laning dominance that the champion can provide if you can't have the safety of a flash up.
And while it's a small thing, that means the Draven is not going to be in the lane to auto-attack immediately at the first one on the minion wave and get that pressure, so it'll actually be easier for Kaori to Vulcan to dictate at least the first few waves now.
The one nice thing for Mad Lions is they already know EG's game plan. Jojo Pune in all chat, we said it was very quiet and respectful game 1. We'd see if that would stick. After 1 win under his belt, Jojo Pune's feeling himself. Says, camp mid, guys. I'm telling you, he needs it. Level 3 gank or he's in trouble,
we can't
we'll say.
And I guess trying to make that known right now. Niski winning the first part of the trade, but set passive pretty good.
And something Jojo has to be worried about is the fact that Niski actually hit a ward level 1, which means that he'll get level 2 on the first wave in the mid lane. So if he's trying to trade too hard when they trade even in terms of killing the minions, Niski will actually win that due to a level advantage.
Thumbs up from Jojo. Keeping the wave in a good spot. Once you get the Sono, hits level 2 as well. Got a kill on a creep, I believe. So very nice trading from Jojo.
Yeah, so the good thing for Jojo was that he had the push, he killed more minions, so despite the XP advantage being on Niski, it did not matter in this instance.
Jojo going to want to shove this wave in, get the wave further away from the turret, keep pressure up onto Niski. Mad Lions bot lane with Kaiser wrapping around, having pressure. Hold up here, early gank topside.
Love this look out of Elyoya. Impact in trouble, gonna have to find the fat flash, or maybe just not gonna use it. No, does get it, but Elyoya chases. Pillar is there, Q is good. That's gonna be first blood again for Elyoya.
Great pathing to begin the entire series with here, or second series of the game here now. Inspired though, down towards the bot side where Unforgiven does not have the flash, but the Mad Lions bot lane, they're not getting too aggressive yet, but Kaori goes forward.
Goes on in, wants to try and make the play, is going to get the flash out of Kaiser this time. Ignite down as well, Inspired here, but they can't find the follow-up. Good defense by Mad Lions.
All right, Mad Lions make their play up in the top side. Very nice clear by Elyoya, going buff to gank. A very awkward timing window for Impact. You could see caught him unaware that that was coming. EG felt forced to make something else happen in the bot side. Yeah, you get to get Kaiser's flash, which again is stemming that aggression, but right now what you're really worried about is this snowball on the top side. Elyoya looking for the repeat gank, and there's no defense coming.
2 dives actually happening, so we're going to start in top lane. Bottom lane, you can see there's the TP in from Jojo. Impact in a little bit of trouble, but does defend long enough. Now Jojo's in. That's going to force the flash out of armor. Bottom lane, looks like it's not going the right way either for EG. So 2 different dives, but no kills.
So they burned the teleport at least there from Jojo, but still messy gank as well. You get the flash out. It was good tower juggling. Armor's so close to taking more damage.
I think that still is a net positive for Mad Lions, if I'm going to say. You got to absorb some of the resources from EG in the bot side and the top lane, relieving that pressure from Niski. Able to use his teleport for lane now greedily if he wants to and kind of control Jojo Pune a little bit more.
What's really interesting to me with at least the Mad Lions strategy so far is the fact that they decided to play up towards the top side. And when they did that, that allowed Inspired and the rest of EG to stabilize this Draven lane once more down towards the bottom side. And even then, Inspired is doing a good job of being in towards the enemy red side, clearing away some of the camps, getting an experience lead. I do believe it took away the Crocs too. Now he's in a position to gank the mid lane.
Fascinating mid 1v1, but Inspired going to make it very uneven. Flash Q's going to get the knock up. Niski almost stunned. Should follow through. There's the damage. Inspired gets one back.
A little bit later than Jojo called out. It's level 4 and level 5 that the gank comes in, but they do find the kill on mid lane. Niski losing his flash does cost Jojo's, but we'll see if they can keep chain ganking mid now. There is a level advantage for Inspired as well.
Yeah, great job from Inspired to strike back in the matchup here between the 2 junglers. Elyoya started up on the top side, Inspired down towards the bot, finding the gank in the mid lane before Elyoya is done with the wolves, meaning that they can just turn on Niski immediately.
And this does bring us to our Mercedes-Benz featured matchup between the 2 junglers. As we'll get a replay first, here is that gank on the mid lane. Inspired's going to come in and turn this one around. Jojo has the setup, forces Niski up into the lane, which I think is what honestly makes them want to go for this play, just getting too aggressive with his trades here.
It's the fact that he knows that Elyoya is on the wolf, so he thinks that it's going to be easy for him to come around. What he's not anticipating is the fact that Inspired has been clearing the Raptors, so it's just this mismatching timing that Inspired wins out on.
Where I was going to go with that jungle point was that it felt like Elyoya and Inspire kind of took over the scene, came and rose to prominence in EU around the same time, becoming the next up-and-comers of the jungle class. You know, you have old man Yankos still holding it down, but this was kind of the fresh generation. And I think for Evil Geniuses, being able to get Inspired on their team has been huge for them this year. Probably the entire reason that they have had this insane run that they've had out of nowhere. The MVP of the LCS in summer.
Yeah, shout out to the RLs, shout out to Inspired finding another gank as well, trying to push in that top side instead. But Armored, he's not going to overcommit with the dash in this time around.
Yeah, the expectation back on the jungle is definitely that they would control the pace of this game. Elyoya obviously a bit more aggressive, a bit more carry-oriented, but very flexible for both of them. Inspired's been a great shepherd, a great babysitter in some cases of young Jojo Pune. But so far, so good as both junglers find early success. But Elyoya lining it up here onto the carry. Jojo's roaming in, though.
Yeah, has Vulcan attached to him as the Yuumi. Still don't think he wants to take that 2v2.
I mean, it could have been good for EG if the dive had actually happened. Now the dive comes around, but they dove it away.
Good delayed look, but actually Elyoya taking too much damage. Level 5, Jojo's still here. Elyoya does not have flash. Barely not back up, and Carry just picks up a freebie.
Yeah, and it just feels like so good movement coming through from EG. They know Mad Lions wants to go for a dive. They have their members arrive. They have the Cannon Barrage ready too. And for Mad Lions, that is just a pure overextension. You forced that dive too heavily.
I feel like we just caster cursed them. The fact that the GP6 comes in, clearly not communicated, but also Elyoya so far ahead of Kaiser. Look, he's tanking the turret before Kaiser is in combo range. They're trying to get that play before the Vulcan can get back under turret, but there's just no way that that's ever going to work. Probably even without the GP ultimate, even if you do get the kill there, you'd still be stuck under turret with Jojo collapsing. So definitely feels like Mad Lions felt the pressure a little bit on wanting to make that play work.
Spell shield, like Goldberg said in draft, does get stunned. Oh, the trample coming in hot. Gonna force the flash there after the ignite, but here's Inspired.
And that's how it's supposed to go. It'd be nice if a pillar was around too. So I feel like just Mad Lions, it goes back to a problem I've had with them for a long time. Playing through that bot lane has really not been one of their strengths. And you see it here, I think EG even punishing it. EG's been doing such a good job to have better movement down here. You can even see it now, despite Matt having the push, Inspired is around. He does have level 6. So if overextensions come through, they can just commit to turn.
Yes, Ignite as well. Does have a spellbook from the jungle, so swapped over for a bit of extra power in the potential gank, but nothing happening there.
Yeah, Mad Lions back off the wave at the right time. No flash, no 6 for Yuumi as well. If they might have had another way to set that gank up, then you can have Inspired charging in, but just too safely played by Mad Lions. Gold lead even at the end of the day from all this aggression, so they're not in trouble yet. They should have strong scaling with Armut's masterwork items as well as the more balanced team comp like we were saying.
Drifter will also start a build by Elyoya, so that should be some extra gold going over to Mad Lions, even if they just dump it for a couple of plates. Things going well in general though across the Rift. Again, another even somewhat slower early game here is a lot of tactical trades, I feel like. Again, these junglers really leading these teams in different ways. It's not surprising to me that the first 2 kills were split between them.
Bot lane has rotated into the mid lane, and let's see what they can actually make of this. Suplex available for both of them.
Yep, Niski now trying to go back in, but it's Biot's hit, nails Niski with the ulti, and that W is going to find its mark.
Just too quick of a play by EG. Niski stole the ultimate, wanted to suplex him back into his team, but Jojo just grabbed him first and threw him further up the lane, just gets exploded. Jojo Pew 1-0, got the emote spam going, flexing on set.
And we talked about the mental advantage. Inspired hitting a fat XD in chat as well after that play too.
Oh no.
So definitely on the Rift, things are going really well for EG and even between the banter of the two teams.
I gotta say as well, Vulcan's gotten out of lane a surprising amount of time for a Yuumi in a Draven-Alistar matchup where you're supposed to be babysitting Sivir. I think this speaks again to the trouble Mad Lions bot lane has had. He wasn't needed there necessarily, the play had already gone in their favor, but that was going to end up being a 3-for-3 if it was a more extended sequence. And so EG have done a pretty good job of answering all this early bot side aggression.
Yeah, it just feels like aggression is coming through from Mad Lions. EG has to respond to it. And even now as well, Mad Lions have an aggressive tool with the Rift Herald. I'm looking at EG to see how are you going to respond to it again, because the clear strategy would be to go for the bot lane. It would to be get the Draven ahead, get some plating on him, but you can also see it from the movement around the map and the way the camps are lining up for Inspired. He is pathing down towards the bot side.
Armut here as well. Niski still has the ulti hijacked earlier. Jojo, though, kind of baiting him here, doing sit-ups in the middle of the lane. I will say, for how well the Victor went for Jojo last game, love to see flexibility from the young'un on this set. Looking really nice in this counter pick. Happy to give Silas of all champions away to Europe.
Inspired able to smite that blue buff away. Set obviously not needing it, giving a little bit of extra gold and experience over to his jungler. One of the nice advantages of resourceless mid laners. He has to be careful though. He's feeling himself, he's flexing a lot, but EG still have a lot of work to do to come out ahead in this game. We talk about the scaling, the Rift Herald coming through. Draven still has his stacks, so while they have not been able to convert yet, there is still that ticking time bomb portion of the Draven kit. It does not need to go instantly in your favor.
Now Drake has been spotted up. Inspired does have the ultimate if they want to turn Jojo's around, and Mad Lions might get pinned.
Oh, the suplex looking for Unforgiven. He had to flash forward, but Jojo still in the mix, getting a little bit low though, but another great face breaker. Gets his way out of there. Vulcan gets the kill. Heals up the set. Niski caught completely unawares. And EG as Jojo dives in, finds a beautiful team fight.
And that is just a dragon gifted right over to evil genius Mad Lions. They start up the objective in EG. They just pincer them down. Niski gets over aggressive. Jojo starts it all up with a great suplex. And Vulcan onto Yuumi keeps them all stabilized.
Inspired doesn't even land the initial ultimate onto Unforgiven, who is pincer between the bot lane and the jungle mid combination. He has a nice flash to avoid getting the suplex damage. He kites it out, but that has left the Kaiser alone to be focused down, and then Niski greeds out for the kill, but Set at low HP is his comfort zone. The shield, the healing that can come in, keeps him alive, as well as Vulcan switching over to heal him up.
Nicely done, as also Kaori continuing to be the bearer of a lot of good news as far as gold goes. We said it. Looked very tricky to pick Sivir into the known Draven. Also with Yuumi, they're very weak bottom lane, but he's reaped all the benefits. 2-0-1, Kraken Slayer already done. The only mythic on the other side is the Frostfire Gauntlet there for Armut. So gold heading in the right direction once again for EG, up 2,000.
Looking good though. Jojo Pune, the hope of NA, the young Zoomer. He was heralded as one of the best talents North America had ever seen this year. There's a controversy about who EG should select for their mid laner. People have been debating it quite a bit, and they went with the young gun in Jojo Pune. He's backing it up, showing it was the right choice thus far on the world stage.
That's Inspired. That's so cute. The spellbook
Through
TP.
It's actually incredible. Question
Vulcan.
is, can they get the Herald?
They do, and actually they're going to keep going. Vulcan finds the first ulti off the book, and now Inspired finds the follow-up, but the damage isn't quite there. Kaori needs to get in range, but the Qs are going to keep on coming. Mad Lions get away though.
That is the most proactive jungler I have ever seen in my life, and that's Sejuani right there. Moving up towards the top side, you need to stabilize spot. I'm right down there. Inspired having a massive performance in this game as well on the Sejuani of all champions.
He has secretly been an incredible tank player for the side of EG. in their playoff run had, I believe it was a 9-kill Sejuani game, soloing out late game 80 carries at 6 items. Huge fan of the Anathema's chains, which allows him to lock down targets and then solo them out himself with Sejuani's % HP damage.
Now Jojo is hitting the plate. He's going to get it. Does ult Niski going now the other way because he has to run out from the situation he just finds himself in. He's literally dueling Niski between 2 towers.
Oh, ultimate does not connect, but the big thing for Jojo here actually that he's denying Niski so much CCs by doing this. Jojo picks up a play by himself. Jojo's the one who pushed in the wave, and Niski's spending his time not last hitting minions, but trying to kill Jojo unsuccessfully.
And I have to call out the man who might have given EG the dark tech about set. Bwipo in the regular season had a game against Impact where he dumpstered the topside matchup. I believe it was like 6 kills in the first 10 minutes, turning 1v2s, 1v3s. EG might have taken a note during that game and said, hey, pretty good into melee matchups. Might save this one for a dark day. Against Mad Lions at Worlds, that's a dark day, I guess.
I mean, I'm feeling it like it's a dark day at the moment, but...
Maybe for you, I'm sorry, my friend.
Do not worry about it. We do enjoy the good League of Legends, and we do enjoy seeing how EG has actually piloted this so far, especially with the players who's been under so much flack. Even Vulcan on Enchantress have been good this game. His movement on the map has been super solid, and Corey has been a position under so much, well, can you play Caitlyn? Can you be the carry we need? Can you be the Danny-style AD carry we're looking for? Well, he's playing a scaling AD carry right now.
And that's the thing I was going to say, especially in the last game with EG finding so many different flanks. I feel like they've read Mad Lions so well. Whether that's vision or just good intuition and good map play, it doesn't feel like Mad are necessarily doing that much wrong, but every time they go for something, Inspired especially is always in the right place as we have this Herald fight.
See if Mad Lions want to contest. Turn on to Armut.
Buffers out, still has to flash, and Vulcan now going to follow up again. So much CC on this team, and the Tankion's not going to live.
On the other side, though, Jojo single-handedly keeping them away from the objective. 4 Lions standing, and just 1 Boxer in the middle of it all, scaring them all away.
Love that play from EG. Love the call of the Boxer as well. Hey, yo, that was, I was about to say, it's not a back-breaking situation yet for Mad Lions. We talk about what's the goal deficit that you're okay piloting this comp from. I would say, you know, 2 to 3K at 15 is around the breaking point. They haven't had, I would say, the back-breaking play quite yet. Still all turrets available for Mad Lions. They haven't lost one, but losing the Rift Herald right when they were moving up to contest meant that they committed the resources so they couldn't take the bot lane turret with Unforgiven or something during that time.
I'll break the back of those Lions then. You have a Rift Herald available for Inspired. You have control in terms of dictating the rotations currently as well. You're just 1 push away towards the bot lane right now where you get open the first turret, then the next one. Drake spawning in 10 seconds, so this is a beneficial fight for EG as well. Mad Lions are going to be losing a lot, so this is crucial for Mad Lions. You cannot back down now.
Gonna be tricky. GP already down to the bottom side. Kaiser gonna start it off. That's a beautiful pole run. Finds him, and Jojo finds, I think, 3 off the stun. And oh my goodness, Kaiser just explodes to the facebreaker. Inspired dashes away. Jojo, though, is finally fouled, but here comes Impact. Big barrel combo attempted with the flash aggressively in, but it does not connect. The Mad Lions might have got away with it, but Siva with the Yubi attack is going in, but there's the shutdown. Niski turns it around with Armut there, but Impact is still going. They have extra carries. Unforgiven forced to flush away as the Sejuani prison snipes out Unforgiven, and Alyoya and Kaiser the only 2 left, and Alyoya not long for this world.
EG get the delayed ace at the Dragon fight. Mad Lions kicked that one off, had an okay angle, but it was on the 2 beefy members of EG. They could survive through that initial burst, and even though it wasn't the cleanest fight, EG still walk away. Here, there's just so much tankiness for both Jojo and Inspired already this portion of the game. You also get this fat haymaker with just 500 true damage. Like I was saying, half ironically, there's a lot of true damage to deal with the beefiness. Here is the angle where I think it's over, but GP, I see what Impact wants. He wants the flash triple barrel chain to not get the 3rd barrel out there, and that led to that awkward situation.
No ulti 1v2 Jojo, took out the tower, looking for Kaiser. There's the W, does a lot of damage, but now Niski's in there, finds the showstopper, but Jojo's ulti is cooling back off. He's just so menacing, and Niski's gonna find it. Jojo cannot get out of that one.
But it took 2 members, a teleport play as well, to make that work. I think the heads-up play is the fact that EG was not on the map yet. Had Inspired been on the bot side, when you send 4 members top, you would have lost so much on the bottom side against the Rift Herald. So Mad Lions, they make 1 play happen. but this is still EG's Rift right now.
Yeah, 5,500 gold lead in EG's pocket. Nice play by Mad Lions. It's going to take a lot more of plays like that to be able to turn this game around. The fact that they have not gotten the Draven popping off quite yet, still got shut down in that last fight. You're going to have to do it the hard way now. Side lane pickoffs, making plays like that happen.
And EG just been so on point from all fronts is this game. Like, quite often, between both teams really, we only highlight a couple players when they have the victories, and then there's another member who might have been a bit sloppy or something like that. But in this game from EG, they've all just been performing. I think it goes back as well to the side of Mad Lions. They've really struggled playing through their bot side this time around. They had all the tombs they needed for success, but they've not found it.
Big Kaiser flank, yeah, this is not a bad angle, but now they're going to spot him. Jojo in the front line, but again, relatively tanky. Pops the W. Shield is off now. Armor with a decent ulti, but that's a great zoning ultimate out of Vulcan, ironically, as Kaiser now going to be caught out of position in EG. They find the pick in the pincer.
Not enough gas in the tank for Mad Lions, and EG, they just split apart that fight so cleanly. You can see it, just Kari and Vulcan channeling the entire Mad Lions away with the Lost Chapter, and the rest of them are just, well, beating up the poor cow who tried to go on a flank.
Yeah, at this point, the front-to-back team fight for Mad Lions is not an angle they want to take. There's just so much damage in the front line of EG that they're willing to scrap this out. Armut versus Jojo Pune and Inspired. You can see that he's forced back. When the rest of the team tries to channel through this flank, that's when Kaiser wants the angle, but they just turn onto him, combo him down, while, like you said, Kauri and Vulcan keep the rest of Mad Lions away with the GP ult as well. Their coaching staff feeling good about that counter pick that they were willing to break out here in game 2.
Jojo getting a little aggressive, luckily. He lays around. EG in a position where they can play on 2 lanes, but Baron still not on the map.
Gotta get out. That's what I thought was gonna happen. Armut just channels the TP, knows what's up. Was getting wrapped around there by the rest of EG, who have taken over this Rift. Almost 7,000 gold ahead, and that number is not slowing down anytime soon. Kaiser,
no ultimate.
I don't know if it would have mattered, but yeah, no ulti, definitely dead.
I mean, the gap close pick potential for this EG team. The speed ups from Yumi. Sivir didn't even need to pop her ult there, but again, they could have had that option. Inspired's long-range snipes with a Q ult combo.
What's so big as well about this is that you took away all the wards. You can only use ping wards to get aggressive now from the side of Mad Lions, and that means EG, they can just get aggressive on the Baron. Impact still has to teleport, so he can get aggressive on the bot side,
Coming
TP
in.
up, and now Mad Lions, they have to forfeit the bot wave. They can only move into this Baron.
We'll see how they want to do this one. Jojo Pune has ult and can always just rip Elyoya away from the Baron for an uncontested smite. Mad Lions will probably have to take the fight if they want to stop this.
Jojo trying to intercept Armut, I think. No, he's going to get stunned up instead. He's still got the Yumi attached, but Jojo is just so strong. The front line will not be stopped. But actually a snipe on the other side onto Kauri, who's trying to play 1v2, but Impact, the team fight is peeled for him, and Jojo has done the dive with the rest of the squad. Still alive, and that wallet is starting to feel a touch too heavy for Mad Lions. That's a great knockup, but that's a double kill for Impact.
Delayed ace. Kaiser came back alive during that
Not
fight.
again!
But EG are smurfing this game. 17-4 in kills, 10,000 gold up, a 21-minute Baron about to go in their favor, looking to go up 2-0 in the series.
EG, they're just playing this so clean, and I really wish I could give some credit to Mad Lions in this game, but I can't. EG has fully outmaneuvered them. EG has fully had their number in every single part of the lane. And it comes down to the point where it's a 5 versus 4. They're looking to just get some teamfight going for them. But EG immediately turn off the Baron and start hunting down members of Mad Lions.
A 761 true damage haymaker to the face of Elyoya forces him out of the fight right away. It means that there's no one helping Niski on the backside of the fight. He was 2v1 there, trying his hardest, but everyone else was getting destroyed by the Bash brothers of Jojo Pune and Inspired. They ran the regular season of North America. They had some struggles in the postseason, but these two guys still on form.
Nice thumbs up there for Jojo. Knows the game is going well. As predicted, the Banter floodgates opened after game 1, and I'm sure they'll be back after this one. This Red Bull Baron power play might not be that big, but that's because EG are so far ahead at this point that there's not many steps left in this game.
No, they're grabbing the dragon. They're giving the turret bounty over to Niski in a second here, but they're going to be trying to break the bot inhibitor during that time. I gotta say, EG getting the better. You talk about having the game plan downloaded for Mad Lions. I'd also say even in draft, the red side counter pick of Rumble did almost nothing in that first game into Impact. This time, EG showing the power of a properly utilized counter pick in the mid lane, shutting Niski's first pick Sylas down. Even going forward in the series now, it's a question of, do you have to start banning Set? Can we no longer first pick Sylas? This has been a huge wrench in the game plan.
No, I still really believe that Matt Lyon's draft was one that was easy to play in the early game, so even more credit to Evil Geniuses, who completely shut it down, found their own way back into the game, and despite the damage profile being so mixed, yes, you still, not so mixed, yes, you still have the true damage from Set, it just does not matter in the game when EG is so far ahead of the curve, and they're just completely stomping them.
Luden's Yumi is doing work, by the way. Vulcan has been sniping Unforgiven for the last minute or so in this siege. Yeah, Niski got 2 towers, has to come back though again. They're literally just tanking 2 Nexus towers, EG! You can't be doing this on the world stage to your opponents. The Yumi does go down as Unforgiven gets 1 back, but the Bash Bros are back in form as Armut will be slain, and everyone else still left alive as EG look to end this game.
3v4 defense. Vulcan did die in that. No one to keep people healed up. Jojo Q
Gets helped by Kaiser as well, in terms of pushing the Haymaker forward.
Unforgiven is going to try and find his way out, but Kaori now going to put the finishing touches as EG's game. 2-0 now up on the Lions.
Welcome to Evil Geniuses Rift. Currently score 2-0, led by NA. Not won a single series against EU since 2019, but EG, they're looking to make it a fast one today.
There had not even been a game by a North American team versus a European team in best of 5s at Worlds or MSI. Now EG are on the verge of their very own sweep. Only one more game to go. We'll see if I cast or cursed it.